I'm Troy Beverly, and this is Pan-African News. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso launches its first central bank since independence. On Friday, August 2, 2024, the Burkinabe government established the Treasury Deposit Bank, its first central bank since 1960. As stated by Uplifting Africa, the Treasury Deposit Bank will provide services to public institutions, government companies, government-funded projects and programs, private enterprises, and non-governmental organizations. By offering personal bank accounts and by managing government resources, the central bank will expedite the nation's private and public financial transactions. According to Correio da Kianda, one of the goals of the central bank is to scrap the CFA franc, a symbol of French colonization, signaling Burkina Faso's plan to establish its own currency. Military junta strongman Captain Ibrahim Traore announced, quote, "There will be no more export of gold to foreign countries for processing. Burkina Faso's gold will be used to back the country's currency," unquote. As delineated by AI Overview, as Africa's fourth largest gold producer, Burkina Faso will have a gold refinery that produces 150 tons of 99.99% pure gold annually later this year. The refinery is a joint venture between the Burkinabe government and two local refineries. In September 2023, Burkina Faso, along with Mali and Niger, became a member of the mutual defense pact called the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. In December 2023, Nigerian strongman General Abdourahamane Tchiani observed, quote, "In addition to the security domain, our alliance must evolve in the political domain and in the monetary domain," unquote. As mentioned by Reuters, the finance ministers of the AES nations recommended the establishment of a joint stabilization fund and investment bank. In reference to the CFA franc, Tchiani said in an interview in February, quote, "The currency is a first step toward breaking free from the legacy of colonization," unquote. For his part, Traore similarly stated during an interview in February that, quote, "It's not just the currency. Anything that maintains us in slavery will break those bonds," unquote. The AES nations are still members of the West African Economic and Monetary Unit, UEMOA, whose common currency is the CFA franc issued by the Central Bank of West African States, BCEAO. The BCEAO and the Bank of France have an agreement whereby the 8 member nations of the UEMOA deposit a portion of their foreign exchange reserves in the Bank of France. The 8 member nations of the UEMOA can request to borrow money from the BCEAO.